Hello everyone! Recently I reviewed this ebony handled knife from Italy, the Mazarin Gourmet. Today we jump to France and we will be looking at another ebony beauty, the Perceval L-08. But we do not only move geographically, we also take a step up in quality and materials and admittedly also in price. France has a rich tradition in cutlery. You all know the Opinel knife, but there are many different regional knives like the Alsacien or the famous La Gueule knife, which has become well known even beyond its regional origin. Over many centuries, the town of Thiers in central France has been the capital of the French cutlery industry. In the 14th century, the first cutlers settled in Thiers. According to Wikipedia, there are still 300 knife manufacturers in Thiers today. And one of them is Perceval, a relatively small cutlery company that is specialized, you could say, in timeless and elegant knives. The company name, Perceval, goes back to the legend of King Arthur. Perceval was one of the Knights of the Round Table and was involved in the quest for the Holy Grail. This old French name contains the French word percer. Percer quelque chose means to pierce something. So Perceval is quite a meaningful name for a cutlery company. The Perceval L-08 comes in this nicely made presentation box. The packaging corresponds to the quality of the product. It's a classy design but not exaggerated in any way. Here is a sticker with the French tricolor, made in France. And you also get this beautiful leather pouch. Let me go over the specs real quick. The overall length is 20.5 centimeters, so the L-08 is 1.5 centimeters shorter than the Mazarin Gourmet. The blade is also a little shorter. The blade length is 9.5 centimeters. The blade thickness is 2.45 millimeters. And the weight comes in at 75 grams. The blade steel of the Perceval L-08 is 19C27 from Sandvik, which is a higher quality steel than the AUS-8 blade steel that Mazarin uses for the Gourmet. You may be familiar with Sandvik's 12C27, which is a widely used knife steel in French and Scandinavian cutlery. 19C27 is Sandvik's most wear-resistant steel grade. But as Sandvik points out on their website, 19C27 is limited in corrosion resistance, so I will keep an eye on that. The blade shape is a modified sheepsfoot blade. The cutting edge of a regular sheepsfoot blade would be completely straight, but as you can see, this blade is slightly upswept towards the tip. The blade is full flat ground. This grind and the blade shape make this knife a very good slicer. Please note the beautiful matte finish on the blade. This finish is done by polishing the blade with emery-covered buffalo leather. The L-08 comes with a perfectly adjusted liner lock. Speaking of the locking mechanism, I should mention that there are two other knives in Perceval's L line. There is also the L9 and the L10. You can check them out on the Perceval website. The L10 is similar to the L8. It's also a liner lock, but the L10 provides an old, almost archaic opening method. It comes with a lever at the back of the tang. And the L9 is similar to the L10 in that it also has this lever, but the L9 is a friction folder. There is no locking mechanism at all. The handle is an open pillar construction, which allows for easy cleaning. Look how slim the handle is. And it feels really good in the hand. Of course, there is no pocket clip. A pocket clip would completely spoil the look of this knife. The fine craftsmen at Perceval only use the best materials when it comes to handle scales. Actually, the L-08 with ebony handle scales is at the lower end of the price range. You can also get this knife with mammoth ivory scales. And if you want to go really crazy, you can buy a version of this knife with handle scales made of a meteorite stone that was found in Sweden in 1906. The ebony wood on my L-08 is Gabon ebony, named after the West Central African country. Gabon ebony is a high-end wood which is quite hard and which tends to be more consistently black than any other ebony. It is said to be the blackest wood in the world and therefore it's also more expensive. Let me compare the L-08 once more to the Mazarin Gourmet. The ebony wood here is not as dark, it has this light brownish area here, and the wood isn't polished. The polished ebony wood on the L-08 is dark black, and the polish adds to the overall classy look of the knife. The Mazarin Gourmet is a truly elegant knife, without any doubt. But in my opinion, the L-08 has a tad more class, mainly because of the materials and the finish. I also prefer the shape of the closed L-08 over the contours of the Gourmet. This tiny lever on the Gourmet is a gadget that isn't really needed. I like how the curvature of the blade's spine continues into the handle. Really beautiful. A classy knife like the Perceval L-08 is not made for opening boxes and cutting cardboard all day, although I'm sure it would excel in these tasks because of the tough blade steel. But this is clearly a gentleman's knife, which makes a good impression at the table as well. The complete Perceval product line, you could say, is about enjoying an elegant gentleman's lifestyle. Coco Chanel once said, "Elegance is refusal." Although we are not talking about fashion here, for me this maxim translates into a purist approach to knife design. The L-08 is a timeless design without bells and whistles. It clearly communicates understated elegance and style, something that the French are really good at. Combine this knife with French food and you are in heaven. Thanks for watching.